In the pine forests of southern New Jersey, on a coastal plain that has remained almost unchanged since the last glaciation, sailors, hunters, farmers, and rangers have for nearly 300 years described the same animal, a creature with leathery wings, a creature that screams, a creature that walks upright on its hind legs and disappears into the cedar swamps before anyone can be sure of what they saw. The Pine Barrens are 1.1 million acres of preserved wilderness. They are, by area, the largest coastal pine forest north of the tropics. They are also one of the most isolated ecosystems in the eastern United States, surrounded on every side by population centers. But at their core, lightly settled, lightly traveled, and largely unobserved. The folk name for what lives there is the Jersey Devil. The accounts are remarkably consistent across centuries. Bat-like wings, a long, narrow head, eyes that reflect light strongly in moonlight, often described as glowing red, a piercing, unnatural call, a bipedal, hopping gait when grounded between flights. When we strip the supernatural framing away, the demonic origin story, the curse, the 13th child, and read what witnesses actually described, what remains is the description of a large nocturnal flying mammal, specifically the description of a bat. A very large bat, one that, by every account, should not exist in North America. The earliest written reference comes from a 1735 birth record in Burlington County, New Jersey. The mother is named in local accounts as Deborah Leeds. The child is described in the framing of the period as having been born a devil. The folkloric overlay is heavy. The underlying observation is consistent with later sightings, a winged creature native to the Pine Barrens observed at the household. By the early 1800s, the creature had become a regional fixture. The exiled French king Joseph Bonaparte, hunting on his Bordentown estate in 1820, reported tracks in the sand and a glimpse of a large, leathery winged animal of a kind he had not seen in Europe. In January of 1909, the Pine Barrens produced what is now called the Phenomenal Week. Across 7 days, January 16th through 23rd, newspapers in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware reported more than 100 independent sightings of a winged, hooved creature attacking livestock, screaming at night, and tracking through fresh snow. Schools closed, factories closed. The Philadelphia Zoo offered a reward. The sightings stopped abruptly on January 23rd. They have never been collectively explained. In 1953, a small expedition from the Rutgers Zoology Department, led by an associate naturalist named Margaret Halloway, attempted a systematic survey of the Wharton State Forest interior. Her field notebooks describe a single direct observation at a distance of perhaps 60 meters of a large bat flying low across the cedar swamp with a wingspan she would not have believed if she had not paced it against a tree on landing. She did not publish. Under the proposed classification, the Jersey Devil is designated Pteropus diabolus, the devil flying fox of the Pine Barrens. It sits within the family Pteropodidae, the Old World fruit bats, a group otherwise unknown in the New World. Its closest living relatives are Pteropus electo, the black flying fox, and Pteropus vampirus, the large flying fox, both native to Southeast Asia and Northern Australia. It is, by some margin, the largest bat in North America, and possibly the largest bat in the world. Wingspan in adult specimens is estimated at 2 to 2.5 meters. Body length from snout to tail base approaches 1 meter. Standing upright on its hind legs with wings folded, its grounded posture, an adult specimen would be roughly the height of a human adolescent, which matches the historical 5 to 6 foot tall accounts almost exactly. Its habitat is restricted, possibly entirely, to the Pinelands National Reserve. The Pine Barrens are an unusual ecosystem, sandy, acidic, fire-adapted, with low human density and a high proportion of cedar swamp, dwarf pitch pine forest, and pristine groundwater. It is one of the few places in the eastern United States where a large nocturnal mammal could plausibly persist undetected. It roosts during the day in hollow Atlantic white cedar trees, hanging inverted in the manner of all bats, with its leathery wings wrapped fully around its body. Cedar swamps are difficult terrain. Modern surveys are sparse. Roost sites have, almost certainly, been walked past unnoticed. The eyes of Pteropus diabolus are highly developed. Like most large bats, the species has a pronounced tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind the retina that returns unabsorbed light back through the eye for a second pass at the photoreceptors. In the species' close relatives, this reflection is yellow-green. In Pteropus diabolus, the carotenoid pigments deposited in the tapetum produce a characteristic red-orange shine. In folklore, this is recorded as glowing red eyes. In biology, it is a standard tapetal reflection at an unusually long wavelength. The species is unusual among large bats in that it spends extended periods on the ground. It walks awkwardly on its folded wing knuckles and hind legs. Over short distances, it hops in a manner more reminiscent of a vampire bat than a flying fox. Witnesses, predictably, describe this gait as kangaroo-like. Its diet is omnivorous and opportunistic: fallen fruit, fungi, pine cone seeds, carrion, small ground mammals when available. Unlike its tropical cousins, which feed almost exclusively on nectar and fruit, Pteropus diabolus has adapted to the seasonal, nutrient-poor conditions of the temperate pine barrens by widening its diet substantially. The species' most documented behavior is its call. Field recordings, in cases where they exist, register at 110 decibels at 5 meters in the audible range from approximately 2,000 to 4,000 hertz. The acoustic structure resembles, more than anything else, the distress calls of large flying foxes, modified for territorial broadcast in the Pine Barrens' dense canopy. The wings themselves are an evolutionary curiosity. The membrane is thicker than in tropical pteropodids, adapted for the cold New Jersey winters, and the wing finger bones are reinforced. The result is a slower, more powerful wing beat than its tropical relatives, capable of sustained, low-altitude flight over cedar swamp at night. Reproduction is slow. A mated pair produces one pup every 3 to 4 years. The pup remains with the parent for nearly 2 years before dispersing. Specimens, if undisturbed, may live 40 to 60 years. A long-lived, slow-reproducing, ground-walking, cold-adapted flying fox of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. The folklore describes a devil. The biology describes a relict. The evolutionary history of Pteropus diabolus is necessarily a reconstruction, but a plausible one exists. During the late Pleistocene, between 40 and 15,000 years ago, sea levels were significantly lower than they are today. The Bering Land Bridge, exposed for extended periods, served as a corridor for the movement of Asian fauna into North America. Mammoths crossed, bison crossed, brown bears crossed. The list of confirmed crossings is long. and it includes several smaller mammal lineages whose modern descendants are still being mapped. A founding population of the genus Pteropus crossing the bridge during a temperate interglacial period would have found a continent largely unoccupied by other large bats. The lineage moved south and east, eventually arriving at the temperate refugia of the Atlantic coastal plain, the Proto-Pine Barrens. There, isolated from its ancestral tropical population, the species adapted to a temperate, fire-adapted, low-fruit ecosystem. The wings thickened, the diet broadened, the metabolism slowed, the reproductive rate dropped, the eyeshine through carotenoid drift in the tapetum shifted toward red-orange. Each adaptation is small. The cumulative effect, across 15 to 40,000 years, is an animal that no longer resembles its tropical relatives in behavior, ecology, or appearance, but which remains anatomically, recognizably a flying fox, a North American Pteropus, a relict in a refuge. In the last decade, motion-triggered trail cameras placed throughout the Pinelands National Reserve have returned a small number of brief contacts with a large flying mammal that does not match the recorded morphology of any North American bat. The footage is short, the lighting is poor, the motion is fast. In every case, there is an alternative explanation: a turkey vulture, a great horned owl, an artifact of motion blur. Acoustic recording stations deployed in Wharton State Forest as part of a Rutgers-affiliated bat survey have logged roughly 20 calls in the last 6 years that fall outside the published vocal range of any documented North American species. The calls are loud. The structure is repeating. They occur at the same locations across years. In the spring of 2019, a deer hunter in the eastern Pine Barrens reported a direct sighting at a distance of 15 meters in fading dusk light. He described in a written statement to the New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife a bat the size of a German shepherd standing on the ground, watching him. The statement was filed without comment. In the ranger station logbooks of Wharton State Forest, the entries continue. Vocalizations at known ranges, tracks in soft sand, cedar hollows with disturbed roosting material. No formal claim. The logbook simply records what is observed in the same measured hand, year after year. The species has not been captured. No specimen has been obtained. No genome has been sequenced. It has, for nearly 300 years, only been seen.